जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी गोपीजनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन शोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना तीरावनचारि राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन जय गोपाल देव गोपाल देव जय गोपाल देव जय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपद श्रीपद जय गुरुदेवा जय जय श्रीपाद जय गुरु महाराज श्री श्रीपाद की जय जय जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। So today we are reading from the Bhagavatam 6th canto 17th chapter verse number 36 and 37. Yeah, 36 and 37. And the chapter is titled Prescribed Duties for Mankind. The Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraya. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishike. Verse number 36. Shri Shuka Vacha Iti Shrutva Bhagavata Shivasyo Bhibhashitam Babhuva Shantadhirajan
Babhuva Santadhirajan
Devi Vigata Vismaya.
Devi Vigata Vismaya.
Shri Shuka Vacha
Sri Sukha Vacha
Iti Shrutva Bhagavata
Iti Srutva Bhagavata
Shivasyo Bhibhashitam
Shivasya Bhasitam
Babhuva Shantadhirajan
Babhuva Santadhirajan
Devi Vigata Vismaya.
Devi Vigata Vismaya.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Shri Shukadev Goswami said, O King, after hearing this speech by her husband, the demigoddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva, gave up her astonishment at the behavior of King Chitraketu and became steady in intelligence. Purport by Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that the word Shantadhi means Swiya Purva Swabhava Smritya. When Parvati Devi remembered her former behavior in cursing Chitraketu, she became very much ashamed and covered her face with the skirt of a sari, admitting that she was wrong in cursing Chitraketu. Text number 37. Iti Bhagavato Devya Prati Shaptum Alantamaha Murdna Sajagrihe Shapam Etavat Sadhu Lakshanam Iti Bhagavato Devya Prati Shaptum Alantamaha Murdna Sajagrihe Shapam Etavat Sadhu Lakshanam. Translation purport again by Prabhupada. The great devotee Chitraketu was so powerful that he was quite competent to curse Mother Parvati in retaliation. But instead of doing so, he very humbly accepted the curse and bowed his head before Lord Shiva and his wife. This is very much to be appreciated as a standard behavior of a Vaishnava. Purport. Upon being informed by Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati could understand that she was wrong in cursing Chitraketu. King Chitraketu was so exalted in his character that in spite of being wrongly cursed by Mother Parvati, he immediately descended from his airplane and bowed his head before the mother, accepting her curse. This has already been explained. Narayana para sarve na kutaschana bibhyati. Chitraketu very sportingly felt that since the mother wanted to curse him, he could accept this curse just to please her. This is called sadhu lakshanam, the characteristic of a sadhu or a devotee. As explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna. A devotee should always be very humble and meek and should offer all respects to others, especially to the superiors. Being protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a devotee is always powerful, but a devotee does not wish to show his power unnecessarily. However, when a less intelligent person has some power, he wants to use it for sense gratification. This is not the behavior of a devotee. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Suruptamodar Swaminiti Namine Nama Sadbhaktamanaye Manipurudbhavaya Cha Prabhupada Satvani Prachara Niratayate Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyatade Shatarine Vancha Kalpatarurvyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamana Tam Namami Harim Param Sansara Sagare Magnam Deenam Mam Karunanide Karmagrahya Grihitangam Mamuddara Pavarnavat Srimad Bhagavatam Pratyaksha Krishna Evahi Svikritosi Mayanata Mukyartam Bhavasagare. So this is our Bhagavatam, prescribed beauties for mankind. And these are the few concluding verses actually. Such a wonderful story about our Chitraketu, King Chitraketu, how he was, a very nice king. And then after undergoing all this, losing one son and meeting Narad Muni and Angira Muni, how he was able to become elevated to the Vidyadhara planet where he was traveling around in airplanes. And all of them, they were actually chanting the glories of the Lord. And then somehow, by the grace of the Lord, he was able to, by fate and by arrangement, he came upon this place where in the Sumeru mountain, he saw that Lord Shiva is giving a discourse to all the saintly people. And Lord Shiva was embracing his wife, Mother Parvati. So in a very joking mood, actually, without even the slightest intention to insult Lord Shiva or, anybody else, Mother Parvati, without any of these intentions, in a very joking way, he said, see, only Lord Shiva can do something like this. So, only Lord Shiva can, he can embrace his wife in front of all these saintly people and give a discourse on how to control the lust. It's only possible for Lord Shiva. So he meant it in a joking mood, but somehow Mother Parvati, she became very agitated. And immediately, she was thinking that, my husband is being insulted. And how dare this upstart, just now he has become, little powerful. He has become a Vidyadhara, and immediately he is going about insulting my husband, who is a topmost Vaishnava, and who is respected by even all the other 33 crores of demigods. So such a personality, how dare this, this Chitraketu, how dare he do that? So immediately, without even thinking, she immediately, she cursed him. You are not fit to be in this body. And all the while she's saying, my dear son, there's the irony of it. My dear son, because you behave like this, I'm cursing you. Become a demon. So ladies, generally, ladies' behavior, in South we have a saying. We say, pen buddhi, we say. Pen buddhi, pen means actually a woman. Buddhi means you understand, intelligence. The pen buddhi, the lady's intelligence is pin buddhi. Pin buddhi means after doing something, after that, the buddhi, actual buddhi comes. Before they, without thinking, they do something, and then later on, when they regret, and then real intelligence comes in. This is generally, for the ladies, it is like that. So much argument actually. In a movement, actually, people think that The ladies are lower down on the scale or something like that. They are very sexist. It's a very sexist movement, and ladies are very much suppressed and things like that. Personally, I also had an experience like when I was in America. I was talking about something to do with this mixing about ladies and gents, how this is causing all the problems in society. So I began this. It was a Sunday crowd, and the hall was packed. Actually, 50, 60 people were there, and I began by saying, the ladies are the cause of all problems for the gents. And even before I could finish the sentence, one young devotee, he immediately got up. He said, "How can you say that?" I said, "Okay, wait, let me finish my sentence. I have not completed my sentence. Let me finish the sentence." I told him, see, the ladies are causing all the problems in spiritual life for the gents, and for the gents also, the ladies, it works both the ways. It's not only ladies are obstacle to spiritual life for gents. For the ladies, the gents are also a spiritual obstacle, actually. Then he calmed down a little bit because he was very attached to his young wife, who was a very nice singer, and practically she was running the show there. So he was doing some side jobs and he was maintaining the family. So somehow he became a little upset as soon as I said that. So people, they have this thing, that kind of notion that within the movement, within our ISKCON movement, generally the mothers are suppressed. It's not like that. Yestu naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devata, where ladies are being worshipped, as a mother figure, where they are given this kind of respect. Even the devatas, the demigods, they come and they enjoy in places like that. And our movement gives the utmost respect to the ladies. But whatever be the case, one should accept that the body, the Stree body is designed in such a way that, these things are there. Like, you read Chanakya Pandit Niti, there is this very nice sloka, which even Gorgund Maharaj used to, he used to say. It is quoted actually from the, what is that, Vairagya Martanda. There is one book called Vairagya Martanda. Somebody to become a Vairagi, the main shackle, the main source of attachment in this material world is just this sex impulse. Madana Vepitam, we call that, Mana Madana Vepitam. This mind is so much attracted to sex. People, they think I'm working so hard day and night just to feed my stomach. But that is not the main reason. Prabhupada was saying in one lecture, he was giving this thing. The main reason people, they say, Papi pet ka savala, because I have the stomach. I have to feed my stomach, so I'm working very hard. But actually, it is not so. People are working very hard simply for the sense gratification, which is afforded by the sex impulse. That's all. So how far we are away from this spiritual life, you can understand as long as you're maintaining all these lusty desires. So in this case, actually, it is mentioned, Anritam sahasam maya murkatvam atilobhata asauchatvam nirdayatvam strinam dosha swabhava. These are the 7 doshas or faults. As soon as you get a female body, these automatically they become manifest. So people, when they used to raise this complaint, Prabhupada, you're putting down the ladies so much, the ladies are supposed to be suppressed like this. And then Prabhupada said, do you think you are a woman? Or you think you are soul, you are part and parcel of Krishna, I am a servant of Krishna. How do you think? You see, so everybody is created equal, but the body in which we inhabit, it is definitely not equal because it is a material thing. And one day it will be finished. So the best use of this is how to engage this body in the devotional service of the Lord, without creating problems for ourselves as well as for the others. So in the case of a lady's body, these are the 7 faults actually. We said, Anritam Sahasam. They speak so much falsehood. Sahasam, the ladies are very, very, how do you say, daredevil kind of thing. They can do anything. Without even thinking about it, they will do something. Sahasam, very brave. Maya means illusory. Or Murkatvam, very foolish. Atilobhata, very, very greedy. And then Asauchatvam, they are generally impure. Nirdayatvam, they don't have, they have great cruelty. All these things, as I said, Srinam Dosha Swabhavaja. This is that's why generally it is recommended that saintly people they stay away from lady association. It's mentioned like. But here you see a wonderful demigod like Lord Shiva, and he's embracing his wife in front of everybody. So indirectly, Chitraketu is simply hinting that you please don't do like this, because you're in the eyes of everybody. You're a very prominent leader. If you do something like this, people may think wrong about you, and or even worst case scenario, they may try to imitate you, doing the same thing, having a wife and then embracing her and trying to speak how to control your senses. They may do something like that. So indirectly he was hinting that, but he put it in a nice way. Somehow or other, Mother Parvati, she became upset, and because she was upset, immediately she's cursed. But see the wonderful nature of a devotee, Sadhu Lakshanam. Prabhupada is saying, immediately he came down from the airplane, he bowed down before Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. Mother, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, in any way offend you or insult you, but you have cursed me anyway, I will accept this curse. Very sporting mood, very, very sporting mood. He's cursed to be a demon. He's cursed to be a demon. And for no fault of his. All the while she is saying, you are my son and I'm cursing. So sometimes you think, is this how a mother curses her son? You become a Rakshas, you become a demon. No mother will do that actually. But here, all the while calling him son, Mother Parvati is cursing him, you become a Rakshas. See, but this is the thing, whatever we are doing in our life, actually, most of the time we think that, karta ham iti manyate, that I am the one who's personally doing it. But it is not the case actually. Krishna is sanctioning that, okay, you go ahead and you do it. Unless the Lord's sanction is there, these things are not possible. Mother Parvati is a Vaishnavi. She's closely associated with the topmost Vaishnava like Lord Shiva, who's 24 hours engaged in, Ram Bhajan. Rama Rameti Rameti, always chanting Lord Ram's name. Such a personality like Lord Shiva, who is a topmost Vaishnava, and Mother Parvati, who is constantly serving him, how is it possible that she become overcome by something like that? So we must understand that this is the arrangement of the Lord. The Lord has, spoken through her. The Lord didn't want that his devotee Chitraketu be in the body of, like this Vidyadhara and enjoying all these facilities and completely forget about the spiritual world. Rather, in the body of a demon, very quickly the Lord wanted to take him back home, back to God. So this is a special mercy of the Lord. And Mother Parvati was simply an agent. But still, Mother Parvati could understand that what I have done is wrong. And she felt very ashamed and she covered herself, she covered her face. Ladies, when they become very shy, you see, generally, it's a custom, they cover their face with the pallu of the sari, right? They just cover like that. So, Mother Parvati, she did that, she was very ashamed. And because the behavior of Chitraketu is so wonderful, actually. See, instead of agitating the person and escalating the situation, he immediately got down, he bowed down, and I'm really sorry. I apologize if my behavior offended you. I will accept your curse. You see, whatever was there, misunderstanding, everything, just by the simple one attitude of simply humbly bowing down and just accepting, whatever is dished out by destiny, by fate, by by the instruments of fate, whether man or woman or child or animal, whatever, a devotee he accepts that. Yes, my Lord, I will accept. But when one is not on that platform, immediately one reacts. How dare you curse me to be a demon? You, your forefather, your whole generation, all of them become demons. This is generally how we retaliate, because we don't have control of our senses. We don't see the big picture, and we accept that yes, this is something that the Lord wants me to undergo. Let me graciously accept that. This kind of mentality is very, very, very rare. Even among sadhus, it is very rare. But somebody who is a very exalted devotee, elevated devotee, only he can do something like that. See, she's a Vaishnavi, she's a big demigoddess, but still Mother Parvati couldn't control herself. She couldn't understand things properly. But here, although he was cursed for no fault of his, still he accepted. It is all right. This may be a reversal of fate, but everything in the material world is temporary. See, Narayana para sarve kutasyana bibhyati. Swarga apavarga narakesho api tulyartha darshan. Lord Shivji is glorifying a devotee. See, such a wonderful devotee that you throw him in hell, you put him in the topmost enjoyment place like heaven. He is always balanced. The intelligence is always balanced. Is always firmly rooted. Narayana para, situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. So where is the question of the devotee reacting? Whatever is there, it is arrangement of Krishna. It is Krishna's mercy. I will accept it. Yes, the Lord Narayan's mercy. I will accept it. So this kind of unless a person is very very simple, and this Trinadapi Sunichena Mahaprabhu is saying, Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada. These three things. Trinadapi, to become very very lower, consider oneself very lower. See, the beauty of thinking that I am very fallen is that you are at the rock bottom, so there is no way but going up. Try to understand. Even very exalted devotees, they say, I am the most fallen, and they mean that with all their heart. So, by thinking that they are fallen, they're giving themselves a chance to make progress up. But if you already think I'm exalted, then there is no other way but going down. So, generally, the devotees of the Lord, Trinadapi, I'm lower than the straw in the street. This is their attitude. Pure devotees. Tarorapi Saishna, more tolerant than a tree. A tree, you go cut it, you chop it up, it is not going to protest. It will simply be standing there. Not even a sound, no complaint. It's very rare, very, very rare to see such kind of behavior. I remember the story. I'm not sure who that saint was, but it was very recent times, maybe a few hundred years back. The saintly person was actually going to the Ganges to take bath. Right? So there was this Muslim guy who was observing him. And somehow this person, he was thinking, let me see, how far this person is a sadhu. Let me test him. So when the sadhu, he took his bath and he came out, this Muslim guy was standing near the bank. He spit on that person. He put some water in his mouth and he spit. And very silently, the saintly person, again, he went back to the Ganges. He took bath and he came again. And again, this Muslim guy, he spit on him. This went on for 25 times, not once, twice. Every time he would take bath and he would come out, this person would spit on him. And then the sadhu would go back, again take a bath and he would come. After doing it for 25 times, this Muslim guy, he couldn't control himself. He fell down at the feet of that person and said, I'm so sorry. I don't know what made me think like this and why I did this. But, please forgive me. I've never seen such tolerance. But Ulta, this saintly person, he fell at his feet and he said, oh, I should thank you actually. Why are you falling at my feet and apologize? Because of you, today I was able to take 25 times bath in Mother Ganges. I was able to purify myself more. You are very merciful to me. He meant that, not in a sarcastic way. He really meant it actually. You see the nature of this devotee, the way that person is expressing it, that, next time that Muslim person is definitely not going to, come and approach this person with a thing. The whole heart and the mind of that person becomes immediately transformed simply by the behavior and the dealing of this saintly person. And this Bhagavatam is completely stories about such saintly people, Mahabhagavatas, very exalted devotees. Prahlad was tortured, right, by his own father. And that kid had nowhere to go to ask for help. Generally, if there is a problem, you run to your parents or your closest friends. And your closest friends are all demons. And, your family, your father is such a kind of asura. What do you do? The child tolerated. What can be done? Child tolerated. Haridas Thakur, he was dragged in 21 marketplaces and he was flogged with that whip. At the end of those whip, they were nails actually. Literally, his skin was torn open actually. And he kept quiet. Simply because he was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. How dare you chant? You know, you're a Muslim person. How you can go and chant? You know, the Hindu persons or the Vedic mantra. How you can chant? Allah is God. You know, whatever you get there, that is not God. How you can chant those names of those false gods? And Haridas Thakur was quite stubborn. No, it's all right. Whatever happens, I'm not going to stop. You can kill me, no problem. And they were beating him 21 marketplaces, and he never opened his mouth and complained. Please stop beating me. Don't try to kill me. Such a high level of tolerance. So we cannot imitate, you know, these personalities, but to the extent that we could, you know, we should always, you know, think over whether my words, my speech, my actions are always causing harm to others or not. You know, this has to be a devotee's mood. You know, that is sadhu lakshan. Titikshva, karunika, suhridam, sarva dehinam, ajata shatrava, shanta, sadhava, sadhu bhushana. These are all the ornaments of a devotee. Titikshva, very tolerant. Karunika, you know, very merciful. Suhridam sarva dehinam is always a well-wisher of all the living entities, you know, irrespective of their human body, their male body, female body, you know, demigod body, whatever, animal body, reptile body. Suhridam, he is always well-wisher. He doesn't wish any harm. Even in mentally, he doesn't think any harm for people like that. Ajata shatrava, you know, no enemy is born. You see, ajata. Jatu means jana, you know, janam. Ja, that word ja means to take birth. So his enemy has never taken birth. You know, the dealings of devotees are so nice. Shanta, you know, always very peaceful. Sadhava, you know, doing all kind of austerity, sadhana, you know. Sadhu bhushana. These are all symptoms of a sadhu. So this particular verse, Mahaprabhu's main instruction is that devotee should always be very humble and meek. And then see, amanina manadena. This is the main thing. You know, the people may not respect you. They may think, they may look down upon you or whatever. It is all right. But still you. So Chitraketu was such a nice devotee. He was as competent as Mother Parvati, if not more. And he could have retaliated by cursing her, but instead, thinking that I am very fallen, I deserve this, he went, he apologized, and he took the curse upon himself. See, offering respect to the superiors. The mother has cursed. Okay, mother's curse, I will accept it. As a son, it is my duty. Let me accept it. You see the magnanimity, you know, the graciousness and the character of the devotee. And then being protected by the Supreme Personality, a devotee is always powerful. But a devotee does not wish to show his power unnecessarily. I was remembering this one Swedish devotee, actually. He's of Indian origin and he spent some time here. Actually, I met him somewhere in Srirangam. So he came here and he was staying with us, you know, on the first floor. So this devotee had this habit, you know, that I'm a Brahmana, I'm a nice devotee, like that. And sometimes people, they would not listen to him or something like that. He would immediately take hold of his what do you call this, the sacred thread, and then he will roll it up like this, and then he will say, I'm going to curse you, you know, and I will break the thread. You see, this will happen. He used to threaten people like that and get his way done, you know, get his job done. And in Vrindavan, you go to like Radha Kund and places like that. You see all these Vrajavasi pandas. They're all lined up there. So you go to the Tirtha, these pandas will come and they will grab you and they will do some puja or something. Starting, they will say, you give me as much as you want. You know, whatever Shraddha you have, you give me, that is all right. But then, you know, when you're chanting the mantras, they make you say that I will offer, you know, 20 kgs of rice, I will offer so much this, I will give so much to the Vrajavasis. They keep speaking all this. And you are also thinking, you know, okay, finally I have to give him some 100 rupees. It is all right. Let me do it. But after that, after the whole thing is said, oh, you promised Radharani, you will give all these items. Now you better do it. If you don't do it, when you're going now, your car will get accident, you and your whole family will die. They speak like that. And these people, they become so afraid. He has hardly, maybe 500, 600 rupees. He will be forced to part with all this money. And then these Vrajavasis, later on, they will sit there and they will laugh. Oh, see, I fooled this person like this. See, the thing is that a devotee's behavior is very, very straightforward. And it is coming from inside, from the core of the heart. We don't have to cheat people. Prabhupada said, whenever even you are presenting a book, you do it in a very straightforward manner. And you see, the people who are good book distributors, they literally quote the book, All glories to, Sri Krishna Sankirtan. And then the chanting of this Hare Krishna mantra is a prime deliverance for benediction for humanity at large. They will just quote the verses from the book and people will buy. Because all these, they carry weight. You don't have to beat around the bush and, you have to do so many things in order to push a book. It's not required. The behavior of a devotee is very, very straightforward. Simple, straightforward. This book is about Krishna. This is very nice. Please take. So the point is that when somebody becomes very nice devotee of the Lord, actually he is completely protected by the Lord. 100% surrender, 100% protection. Krishna does that. Even neophytes, they are protected by the mercy of Guru and other Vaishnavas. Somehow they protect that person. But somebody is less intelligent, if you are in a very powerful position, you are protected by the Lord himself. Naturally, you feel like throwing your weight around, you see how much power I have, see what I can do to you. And there are people sometimes who do that, like Mother Parvati, she's cursing Chitraketu because she's thinking, oh, I am so powerful. Lord Shiva is my husband. Let me go ahead and curse. But you're cursing a faultless person. You're cursing a faultless person. This kind of thing is because of less intelligence. Prabhupada is saying, because a less intelligent person, when he gets some power, he immediately misuses. He immediately misuses. This is why the Lord is very kind that he doesn't give the devotee more than what he can handle. So I'll tell you a small story and I will wind up, because you should be very careful what you're praying for, basically, in life. And you should always understand that whatever Krishna is giving us, it is good. It is good for us. It is to push us in the right direction. We should have that kind of mentality and graciousness to accept whatever destiny is dealing with us, and we try to make progress. So there was this one sadhu, not elderly, little young person, 40, 50, 45, like that. So he was walking up a mountain. And, climbing a mountain uphill task is always a little difficult. You have to spend so much energy. So on the way, he was saying, oh, Ram, ek godi de de, Ram. my dear Lord Ram, please give me a horse. I cannot walk like this. It's very difficult for me. So he was repeating this and he was climbing up. And all of a sudden, the king's party was going that side. So the king had one horse. And this horse was pregnant. And, just when they were about to pass this sadhu, that horse delivered a baby, a foal, a baby horse. So this horse was born. And this horse was very dear to the king. So the king was being carried by in a palanquin, in a palki, and this horse delivered the baby, but the horse wouldn't move because that foal, that baby horse, was still there. So the king was looking around. Not many people were there. Only this, 40, 45 years old sadhu was there. So the king came down. He requested, sadhu, this horse is not moving. Can you please carry that small baby foal with? Yeah, king of the land. And, sadhu's nature is you don't say no. You have to help. So this person, he couldn't walk. He was praying for a horse so that he could sit and ride. But now he had to carry the baby horse and he was going up and he was saying, Ram, galat samajh gaya, Ram. My Lord, you misunderstood what I was asking you. So the thing is, in life, actually, we ask for so many things, right? We want so many things. But a person who is content with what is being handed out to him, that that is a sadhu lakshana. If it is good or bad, if he is able to digest that and tolerate that situation, you see, very soon that person, simply because of this tolerance and this kind of dealing with whatever the Lord is throwing at him, this person will very soon he will become a nice devotee. Because this is a symptom. This tolerance is a very wonderful symptom of a devotee. One of the prominent symptoms. Titikshva, then Karunika. First thing is Titikshva, tolerance. You can tolerate everything. So somehow in our devotional journey, if we are able to tolerate all the reverses in life, then our life will be successful. Our there is this Prabhuji has come from Perambur, the temple. There's one devotee, Pundrik Pavan Prabhu. I was Prashant before. One student was staying with me here, and he was his friend actually. So this boy Murli, his friend is Prashant, and Prashant is now initiated, and he's Pundrik Pavan Prabhu. He is here. So I remember, when I was going there, he ran away full time to become a devotee of the Lord, and somehow the parents, his uncle, and all, they got very upset. His father's brother and all of them, they came here, and they were giving so much bad words actually. And I got upset, and, because I wasn't here. He ran away on his own accord, and I was no reason the cause. But they were thinking that because I preached Krishna consciousness with him, that I was the main one, and because he used to call me regularly to clarify his doubts also. So probably I am the one who's responsible. So every day practically I had to go, to the police station, and I had to tell them, no, I don't know. I was not in the thing. I had gone to Vrindavan. I was not in the city. I don't know. He's a grown-up boy. Where he has gone, I have no idea. And we have so many centers all over India and the world. If anywhere he has gone, I wouldn't know. He didn't inform anything to me. So the thing is, when one becomes a devotee, you see, there is so much opposition, not only from the family, but outside people also. And the neighbors also, when they came to inquire, where is this boy, they said, yeah, he's up. And they went and they spread such a bad name all around, that this person is doing all this. So irrespective of it, still one has to continue one's devotional journey. And, one should remain tolerant. This is the idea that one has to tolerate. There is no other way. We cannot even change ourselves. Where is the question of changing all these people? So we learn to tolerate and change our own behavior so that one day, the Lord and the devotees of the Lord, they will be very merciful to us, and, they will take us in their company. So I think I will stop here. Any suggestions, any questions, any comments? Thank you very much for your patient listening. Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is Apara Ekadasi. Please remember. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful class. Yeah, our Shyamchandra Prabhuji is having a question. Shyamchandra Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dandavat Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Sripad Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful class, very inspiring. Basically, your own personal experience that you mentioned in the end, of the difficulties that a devotee can face or challenges one faces, but one should be, tolerant and move ahead. That was very inspiring for me. Thank you very much. I have no question. Just wanted to add that about the one sant you mentioned that who was spitted 25 times. Yeah, this was,
is it?
No, this was Sant Namdev. And
Namdev, okay.
This pastimes happened in the banks of Chandrabag Nadi in Pandharpur. So,
Chandrabag.
Yeah. And actually, what I heard is that Muslim, he spat on his body or face for 108 times. And yeah, so that was more, so much of tolerance Namdev showed. And Namdev and Sant Tukaram, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has, blessed, met him also.
Yeah.
So jointly, they were actually, wonderful example of, great devotees in this part, Maharashtra. So I remembered that past time. That's why when you said that, I was able to connect immediately. So Sant Namdev is a very great devotee, actually. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice class. And, a lot of lessons come out of this particular verse. I was just contemplating internally that on one perspective, the humility of Chitraketu. Another perspective, the repentance of Mother Parvati. The third perspective I thought was, even the anger is such a danger word. If anger goes beyond control, then immediately spontaneously something comes out of our mouth. So this is a classic example of how anger went out of control, and then even it was Mother Parvati, still she could not control that. At the end of the day, we say it's all part of the larger plan of Lord to rescue Chitraketu within one lifetime and all that. But it seems that there are a lot of things playing here. But very nicely, this verse brings out many things, in my opinion. I just suddenly contemplated that. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Very inspiring class. Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry, I gave a big discount on that. I said only 25 times. Okay.
No.
No,
actually, this pastime is not known in many places. But, our Lokanath Swami Maharaj actually sometimes brings out this, this episode, because these are the things we remember, of course, Haridas Thakur's marketplace, pastimes. Yeah. But this also is quite a, a pastime that is really, it can bring out the great quality of Titikshvasa of our devotee. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Harish.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, if anyone, yes, Govind Maharaj, please.
Dandavat Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shamchandra Prabhu, for thinking out the name.
Maharaj, we are not able to hear Your Holiness properly.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Maharaj,
Hare
very
Krishna,
clear,
Maharaj.
very clear.
Please, no.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Yeah.
Am I
Can
audible
hear
now?
you, Maharaj. Very audible, Maharaj.
Okay. Yeah, so my question is regarding the behavior and the perspective ultimately. Like it's seeing like 1 in 2 or 2 in 1. Which one you prefer? Because the duality is creating a big problem. So again, what the one represents in 1 in 2, the vision, and what the 2 represents 2 in 1. Because otherwise they sound the same. That is where the Achinte Veda Bhed, or not Veda Bhed, or the Mayavad philosophy, they have their extreme, so-called. That's why Mahaprabhu combined them and say Achinte Veda Bhed. So my thing is that 2 we cannot deny, because exchange requires 2.
No.
Or anything. But 2ness is not allowed. The Bhed Bhav. 2ness means Bhed Bhav. 2ness. But oneness is Namdev is exemplifying this oneness. He's saying that the Supreme is in control, everything is fine. Because he has no complaint with the Lord, and he's controlling everything. So he's appreciating to that extent. He's not saying he's a Muslim rascal, non-religious papi. Even to that extreme, And when that oneness, univision in relation to Krishna is missing, one can feel divided, even in the big house. We cannot
in the midst of
someone even in a house. The unity is there. Even small house is big enough. Whole idea. So from that point of view, my question is that, and you also described the so-called disadvantage of the women or their impurity in many things, which we discussed also a little bit yesterday. What really matters that those who are at the advantage, so-called male or Brahman or high-born or India-born or whatever, nobody can, in reality, claim to be superior or claim to be better off from a spiritual point of view. Because if a Brahman born in a first-class Brahman family or even in a devotee family, if he claims that he is superior or he is better, he could have made it. He could have made it, nah? In millions of births, still he's stuck here. And being born in a Brahman or being born in a devotee's family does not guarantee merely that perfection of life. And so-called disadvantage materially to the ladies and anyone else, poverty or anything, it cannot be established as a disadvantage from a spiritual point of view. So what really matters is the spiritual awakening. So from that point of view, how the Brajavasis help us? The example you gave about Brajavasi cheating. I need some suggestion. Because you have to connect any episode. You just highlighted only the negative aspect, but we are interested in oneness in two.
They actually take away our sins, Maharaj. You are in Vraj, you are more qualified to speak, Maharaj. I'm nowhere there. you should enlighten that. But I was remembering this first thing, that point you were mentioning, 2 in 1 or 1 in 2. Ekatvam anupashata. Spirituality is nice because there is no dvanda, there is no duality. Everything is Krishnamaya. Everything is God conscious based. But spirituality is so broad, it can accommodate even the dvanda, the duality also, even if it is present. But the devotee's vision, it doesn't see it as something separate. That's all. So, I was remembering this story. They were talking about our Bhishma Pitama. He was in the Sabha when Draupadi was, being disrobed. And he didn't say a word, actually. So later on, when he was lying on the bed of arrows, Yudhishthira Maharaj was very unconsolable. After the war, so many people have died after this Mahabharat war. And he was thinking, all this is because simply, they want to put me as a king. And all these people, my friends, my brothers, my cousins, my grandchildren, all of them are dead on account of me. And he was very inconsolably, he was suffering grief. Even when Lord Krishna tried to advise him, it didn't work out. So they bring him to Bhishma Pitama, and in front of everybody, Krishna is saying, you talk to Bhishma Pitama, you ask him, how you get some advice from him. Maybe, this elderly person's experience that will give you you don't have to lament. It will prevent your lamentation. So when he comes there, and all of them, it's a very grave situation. Bhishma Pitama is about to die, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is lamenting. And just before he could give his discourse, Draupadi is standing there and she starts to laugh. So naturally, everybody, they become, what is wrong with her? And Bhishma Pitama, he is hearing that one lady is laughing. And so he's asking, who is that, who is laughing? So then Draupadi says, I am Draupadi and I'm sorry. By mistake, somehow I laughed. Kindly forgive me, I don't know what I was doing. No. There is a particular reason why you laughed. You just tell. So then she says, here you're now about to speak about dharma and so many nice things to him. But there, when I was appealing to you in front of all these people, they are trying to disrobe me. And I'm supposed to be the Kulabadhu for your whole, this Pandava clan. And you kept quiet at that time. You didn't open your mouth, So how is that now you're going to speak all these things? This question came. She asked him right out in public in front of everybody. That's why I laughed. It didn't look very appropriate, that there you behave like this, and then here you're giving a big lecture about all these things. I mean, you're about to give a lecture about all this. So you see, Bhishma Pitama is a Mahajan. He's not an ordinary person, right? Among the 12 Mahajans, he is counted as one of them. So he knows exactly what Krishna is supposed to do. So in that particular place, because Draupadi, she tore a sari when Krishna cut his finger and she bandaged it. So the Lord wanted to reciprocate by supplying her unlimited cloth. And Bhishma Pitama, he knew that. So when the boss is supposed to do something, what will the das do, the servant do? He kept quiet. He put his head down, he kept quiet. He was not there involved in that whole thing at all, actually. But rather than say this, the way Bhishma Pitama is presenting the thing is that, my dear daughter, your husband Arjuna, he pierced, my whole body with arrows. All the blood has come out, and this blood I've eaten the salt of Duryodhan. So because of that, I was indebted. I was indebted to Duryodhan and the Kauravas. But now your husband, he has pierced my body, and all the drop of blood has gone. I'm just surviving with the Ganges water, which is coming from the Patal. So because of that, I think I'm purified, and I think I'm qualified to speak. If you don't mind, can I speak? You see, the devotee, although he is so exalted, he is not presenting that I knew Krishna wanted to do that. And, so because of that, I did it. No, rather he's saying, I was so fallen, I'm still fallen. And somehow, because of the mercy of your husband, I got little purified. So if you think I'm qualified, let me speak. You see, such a aged person, Pitama, the great-great-grandfather Bhishma. So this is the thing, devotees, they are so powerful, they know, they see the unity in everything. They're able to visualize this. But still, sometimes just in order to accommodate and give the other person a chance, they will tolerate. They will take all these non-dual things and they put it upon their heads. There is no reason why somebody, keeps spitting on your face for 108 times. You have to tolerate that. It doesn't even make sense. Okay, once, twice, thrice, 10 times, 20 times, fine. 108 times, who will tolerate? Even the people who are watching that thing happening, they will get agitated. They will go slap that person. Now, what kind of fool are you? But you see, even in those situations, that person is saying, no, this is also a spirit, soul, part and parcel of the Lord. This is the Lord's arrangement. And so, okay, let me accept it with a pinch of salt. Whatever. I will accept it. So this devotee, he rises above the duality. That is the thing. That's why I think it's a Isopanishad verse. You say, Ekatvam Anupashyata. We follow the parampara and we try to see the Ekatva, that oneness there, that non-duality there. We try to see. But if there is duality, we will take it. We will accept that. Sometimes when people are throwing a punch, when they are fighting, you see, somebody is using great force and trying to hit you. If you move back along with the force, you will not get hurt so much. But if you resist and you're trying to, stop that thing, that punch will hit you really hard because you're trying to counteract that. But if you go with the flow and you draw back with the punch, you see the punch, practically you will not feel anything. So this devotees, they are so expert, by the mercy of the Lord, they are able to do that very nicely. Able to do that. And as far as his Rajavasis are concerned, they are on another level. They think Krishna is their Saka. We don't even dare to think of things like that. That's why Prabhupada used to say, you stay away from them generally. I used to avoid. But generally, I was just giving this example to show how people will come and deal with you, and you're thinking they are Rajavasis, they are very exalted devotees, and even they can behave like this sometimes. I was just telling as an example. But that doesn't mean that they don't love Krishna. Their love for Krishna is very, very high. And for devotees of the Lord, it is even more high. Any Baba who is renounced everything, he goes there. And those people, they are mostly poor people. They will have one roti or two rotis, but still he will tear half and he will give that roti to that Babaji. That kind of love is there. You can feel that love. Even when they're joking like this, when they're doing all these things, somehow, inside you will feel that love. You can feel that love. So, I don't know, Maharaj, maybe I was able to satisfy, but if you have something more to add, please go ahead.
Ye dil mange more. Well, the point, very beautiful. Actually, the Brajvasis are blessing us by testing us.
Testing us.
And they will definitely test us, because this is how they bless us, So actually they are expediting our full surrender to Krishna. So they are very, very actually very loving people. This I tell through my experience. If we have experience other than that, it is only because of duality. Because when we talk about oneness, necessitates two, correct? So that's where the Mayavad concept is defined completely. They talk about oneness. Everything is one, you know.
Oh, okay. You meant like that.
It's a oneness which they emphasize. The oneness has no meaning unless they are at least more than one.
Yeah,
It's just like Guru Maharaj would say. I heard from Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. When you talk about cooperation means it acknowledges that there are two parties, correct? We are two beings. So now let us cooperate. But if you impose your cooperation, your viewpoint that then it's not cooperation.
it's not cooperation.
Acknowledging the differences and we exist individually, and then the oneness can be established through cooperation. If you see that, yes, we have common father, common guru, or whatever, some commonness. So commonness also necessitates more than one. Otherwise, the word common has no meaning. We cannot say literally you and me are not two, but one. This is what Mayavadi says. So my point with regard to Brajvasis, that expediting our surrender. So if we have 500 or 1,000 rupees in our hand, they are making us full surrender, and it is feasible. We are not carrying billions of dollars with us when we are doing this, you know.
Yeah,
and it's easier. It's easier to surrender from 300 to 500 or whatever you have, 1,000, 5,000 even up to. They expedited, and they are protected. They are under the spiritual energy. They are Brajvasis. So if they desire anything for Radharani, they are doing us the utmost favor. But if we are very attached to our little money, then the advice is, Prabhupada is, and we are giving advice to the conditioned souls, most of us included. Saying, well, just don't carry much money. Correct? So advice is, don't carry much money while you are...
they're traveling in the Dham. Go simple.
Yeah. So they will coerce you. Oh, Radharani ka utsav aa raha hai. Just 10 kg of pure ghee is decided. So you just pull out your two pockets, and whatever money is there, just, sir, everything is for you. It may be 300 or 400, and then they will be very sweet. Oh, bahut acha, you know. You gave everything. No, don't worry about all the things which we demanded. So ultimately, what matters is giving it all.
Yeah, Maharaj.
That would be very helpful to remind us that yes, I was having only 1,000 at that time, and when the day will be mine, when I will be able to surrender unconditionally all my millions, even if somebody has. So ultimately, what matters is how constantly, incessantly we are ready to give it all when it comes the time. You know, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So that you don't regret.
Yeah, they say giving hand is always above.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, yeah, we may conclude.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
One more question.
Oh, one more.
Prabhuji. So,
yeah.
Amritaji, please make it short.
Pranam Prabhuji and Pranam all the Maharaj. Hare Krishna. It's a very nice lecture. And my question is that, as you told that Shri Parvati ji, she was serving Param Vaishnav. So how is it possible that after serving the Param Vaishnav, even the 24 hours, that she can't able to control her false ego and anger?
Yeah. So the question is how she is not able to do that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this is the thing, you know, see, we are not perfect. This is our position always. We are always tiny, insignificant living entities. And because of that, you know, Only the Lord, he never falls down from his position. The Lord is always perfect in all circumstances. But because we are simply tiny parts of the Lord, even if we are in big demigod position also, or big demigoddess position also, still the chances are there of these things happening. But Parvati Devi is actually, she's a external potency of the Lord. She's not an ordinary personality. She's the, how do you say, the external energy or the Maya Shakti of the Lord. So her behavior, we cannot calculate from ordinary person's viewpoint. It has to be the arrangement of the Lord. Otherwise, she wouldn't have behaved like that. A person who is with a thing. So this is only the conclusion for that. She's not an ordinary lady. You cannot see from that viewpoint. And she's a mother of all the living entities within the material universe. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana, Shakti, Rekha. She is that kind of powerful thing. That is Durga Devi, Parvati Mata. So if she is behaving like that, ultimately it is because the Lord wanted to use her in that particular way. The Lord used her as an instrument simply to facilitate so that Chitraketu can come back in one lifetime. Otherwise, generally, the Vidyadharas or, all these heavenly beings in Swargaloka, they enjoy life. There is so much enjoyment there that there is every possibility of forgetting, this Krishna conscious thing, that I am a devotee, and all these possibilities are there. So rather than give him a chance like that, the Lord wanted to take him. Okay, you get into a demon's body, you finish all your karma, and through Mother Parvati's curse, you come back. So otherwise, it's not possible. Devi also, she doesn't go and curse anybody like that. She's so strong. Why should she curse? She doesn't require to curse anybody. So she has done it. It's because the Lord wanted it. That is the only reason. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
One more little question, if permission has.
Yeah, please.
That it is yes, that Chitraketu is here, but how it is possible that as Chitraketu accepted so humbly the curses from Parvati, how it is possible for the devotees that someone curses you and you become so humble and you go down and accept it? Okay, this is for our benefit.
This is why we say when they are under the control of the Lord, miracles, spiritual energy. When they are carried away by the spiritual energy, they can do anything what we think impossible. See, I am only 52 now. I can hardly do so many things that I want to do. And Prabhupada went and started a movement when he was 70 years old. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm 50 and I'm barely able to do day-to-day things nicely. You imagine somebody who is 70 years old, past retirement age. He goes all over the world and he creates all these different temples. How do you think it is possible? All the while writing so many wonderful books with full realization. So this is the thing, when somebody is blessed by the Lord or protected by the Lord, anything is possible. Such behavior is it may be amazing to us, but for them it is a natural thing. It's a very natural thing. That's why we always say, you become a nice devotee of the Lord, because then the Lord will guide you at every stage. The Lord will personally guide you. He will give you the intelligence, how to behave, what to do. Everything the Lord will guide. He is sitting inside. Paramatma, he is sitting inside and watching. But they have the saying, Kasturi Kundala Basai, Mrigudunde Vanamai. That deer, it has that Kasturi in the navel. But such a nice smell is coming, and the deer is thinking, oh, it must be coming from out. And so he keeps running all over the forest, where is the smell coming? But actually, everything is here. Simply, we have to align a consciousness with that of the Lord, and then you see, even you can perform very amazing things and become a very nice devotee. It won't be surprising then. But now, all these things, it looks like out of the world. But then when you become a nice devotee, then it's something natural, very automatic. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai Guru
Krishna,
Maharaj.
Prabhu.
Maharaj.
One thing came to mind by your kindness.
Maharaj.
Prabhupada gives the example of that they are accidents even on royal roads. So in the material realm, actually there is no accident in the sense that the karma is creating their own expression, correct? And this is how things happen which are unexpected, but karmas, they play the role. When the accidents appear in the spiritual beings, so the fully blessed Chitraketu and Parvati, they are all associates of the Lord. If somebody is associate of Lord Shiva, the purest Vaishnava, she is the purest Vaishnavi also in that regard. But when the what happens like an accident, hey, how this very question Mataji asked, and so this question, apparent accidents, even in that group, it's an enactment of the will of the Lord, because that's why they are part of the Bhagavatam. Our accidents, our mishaps are out of karma accidents, but there is a will of the Lord. He wants to expand his leelas, so we cannot mix the two. But the teaching is that we should not behave like that. Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we may
You
conclude.
can wind up. Yeah. Jai Guru Maharaj Srila Sripad ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Samveda B.I. Bhaktivedanta ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Guru Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
His Grace Mother Manohar Prabhu ki jai. Thank you all for joining. See you all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.